but the president has shown confidence in the minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Well, kudos to him. And that unveiling of that ICC center, Wike said it cost 39 billion naira to reconstruct within 8 months. Dr. Abati.
Okay. First, President Tinubu is the principal.
Yes.
Nyesom Wike is the agent.
Yes.
He being an appointee of the president. The principal, taking responsibility for the work of his agent and saying that he's pleased with him, there's nothing anybody can do about that. Is the president praising his appointee in public?
Yes.
What the president cannot do is to say, busybodies and bystanders like us cannot talk. The Constitution recognizes the right of busybodies and bystanders to make comments. And it is in that regard, with due respect, that I would like to make the following comments. Now, the International Conference Center is a major landmark in the Federal Capital Territory. I think it's commendable that that place has been renovated. It's a major cultural symbol. People go there for weddings, diplomatic activities take place there, lectures are given there. It's quite an impressive complex, just looking at it architecturally. Now, the president said he went there in 2024 for an ECOWAS conference, an ordinary meeting of ECOWAS, and then he discovered that the place was falling apart. And he had called the FCT minister to say, well, is this how low we have sunk? This place doesn't look befitting enough. It doesn't represent Nigeria well. And the FCT minister promised that, the FCTA will work on the building. And this is the result that we have seen. And the president, obviously was quite impressed with what his minister has been able to do within 11 months to transform that place. Well, I've not seen a full picture of the place, but for the president to have been so impressed to praise his minister, I think it's something commendable. And we'll join him in saying, well, for responding swiftly, Nyesom Wike did well. However, there is something we teach in critical theory. There's a subject in literature called critical theory. This subject is about temporocentrism. Temporocentrism means the tendency to think that your time and place is the best in history. In other words, to simplify it for ordinary people, it's called present-mindedness. There is, I think, a certain error of temporocentrism in the renaming of that International Conference Center after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Nyesom Wike, the minister, says the reason they've done that is to appreciate the leadership of the president, and because he was the one that gave directives for renovating the building. Okay, how about the people that built that International Conference Center? That International Conference Center was inaugurated, was commissioned in 1991, when General Ibrahim Babangida, president, as he called himself, was president of Nigeria. So if we're not suffering from present-mindedness, I think that the honor should have been given to the president who delivered originally on it, not the man whose administration renovated it. In fact, the minister of the FCT didn't stop there. Certain sections of the building were named after the Senate president, the Speaker of the House of Reps, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. It is temporocentrism to the extent that if another administration comes tomorrow and that administration also decides to renovate the building, they might as well also go ahead and decide to change the name of the building. I think that, look, when we name monuments, we should be sensitive to history. That's my only major criticism in that regard. Otherwise, to renovate monuments, to rebuild them, to make them look good, a principal praising a loyal, obedient, appointee, I don't have any problem with that. But it's just about that historical detail. Because I imagine General Babangida, knowing that the building that he supervised originally has been named after another person, may not feel very comfortable with it. And this naming system this naming of monuments after leaders. We should be careful. I hope Wike will not wake up one day and say he has named Aso Villa after President Tinubu, after renovating some sections of the villa, because I'm sure some sections of the villa will also be in need of renovation.
All right, well, all right.